Oh boy, is today a good day. I just completed a very hard test. I always said if I wasn't an actor or wasn't filming or making videos and going down the creative avenue, the only job I'd want would be to be a fireman. I love acting and performing and making videos and songs and all the junk you see me do, all the obnoxious songs. By the way, thank you for pushing the new annoying fart song to nearly 10,000 views. Once it hits 10,000 views, I will do what you say. I will eat either a donut or pizza. Vote in the community tab. And if all the other recent annoying songs also hit 10,000 views, I'll do something else you want. We'll decide on the live stream. Just trying to crank the awareness on these new obnoxious songs. Watch them if you haven't. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. I have been looking into how to become a fireman, and it's been very hard and confusing and frustrating to get any information out of like the fire department, out of people who work in the fire department. There's apparently 3 different fire departments. It's a bit overwhelming. Anyway, I've been sort of figuring it out, and you can only apply to be a firefighter at a certain, at least in Los Angeles and California, you can only apply at a certain point of the year. It just opened up again where they're taking applications starting in March till May. Then it closes and you can't do it again until next year. And you have to pass a bunch of tests. You have to get EMT certified, which I'm about to do. I'm about to do a 5-week crash course to get certified as an EMT. You have to take a written brain mental test, which is the hardest part of the whole process, which I did today. Then you have to do the BIDL, which is a physical test to see if you can handle doing the job physically. That I'm not very worried about after doing my career in stunts and dancing and gymnastics and now boxing training, boxing training is the hardest thing anyone will ever do on the planet. I'll never feel differently about that. But today I accomplished possibly the hardest part of the process. A lot of people out there who have done this, I think, would agree. I did the FCA, which is the Firefighter Candidate Assessment Test. It's a really weird test. It's very strange. It basically tests your logic. It's kind of like an IQ test, I guess. I've never taken an IQ test, but I'm guessing it's something like that. It tests your like reasoning, your logic, your memory skills, your understanding, math skills, just general awareness of your surroundings, if you absorb information well, if you panic under pressure. There's a timer going the whole time, and you have to get a certain score to pass. So I go in there. I'm the oldest guy in there at 45 years old. There's this dude next to me. Came from the Air Force. He's probably like 28. There's another guy that's already done his EMT. All these guys have already kind of like gotten this whole thing going. They're telling me all this information about all the other things I got to do, which was very helpful. So I'm happy I went there and I did this and I met these guys. So this one guy who's from the Air Force tells me this is like the hardest test and you have to do this test and you can only do it once a year. If you fail, you have to wait till next year, apparently, to do this brain test. And there was some drama during the day because the computers shut down. I did I shot some footage when I was there. Maybe I'll cut to it now.
Well, bad news. I was in the test at the very end where you're just answering questions about yourself. It was like 3 hours in almost, and the internet went out. The servers went down. So now we're all waiting, all of us, and they're all down there waiting, because there's nothing for us to do until the servers turn back on. And if the servers don't turn back on, the test is done. It was a waste. It was a crazy, complicated, weird test too. But if it doesn't turn back on, the test is gone and they have to schedule new tests with us for a later date, and they're gonna be completely different tests. It's like a whole new thing. And you can't see the test online, you can't search it, you can't study for it. It's like a whole thing. So, what a bummer. I'm hoping this computer turns back on and all the progress was saved because I was about to finish.
Oh, what a good day. So they told us that the internet was down and we had to wait 20 minutes. We waited 20 minutes and they said, okay, it's still down. And then one guy jumped on his computer just to try it. He's like, hey, mine's working. So we're like, oh, can you try ours? So we all jumped back on our computers and we got them working even though they thought the internet was down. I finished the test. I was literally at the end. I had like 5 more questions. Finished it under the time, well under the allotted time, and I just got my results instantly, and boom, baby, I got an 81 out of 100. I'll take that 81, the year I was born. Boom, here we go. I'm smart enough to be a firefighter. I passed. It says, basically just says pass or fail. I got an 81 out of 100 and I passed. But when I'm taking this test, I'm thinking, oh gosh, these guys are all these young dudes who look like firefighters already. They're saying they did their EMT stuff. They're gonna blaze through this. This one dude in front of me finished a couple minutes before me, and then I got up and I left, and all the other guys were still in the room. I got my grade, celebrated with the receptionist, then I went to my car and realized I had to validate my parking, so I went back in, and as I was going in to validate my parking, the Air Force guy came out, and he's getting his grade. And he's like, oh, did you pass? I said, I did, here it is. He's like, oh, great. And I was like, I don't know how great an 81 is. And he goes, doesn't matter, pass or fail. As long as you pass, that's all that matters. And then he gets his paper, and me and the girl, the receptionist, are expecting him to say something about his grade. He looks at it, turns around and just leaves. I was like, oh, I guess he doesn't want to tell us what happened. And then he's at the elevator. I hear him let out a big sigh. He goes, and I was like, oh no, did he fail? There's no way this guy failed. He's already done like a ton of stuff. He's in the Air Force. He probably has the logic and understanding to pass this. I'm thinking, maybe it is a hard test. I don't know. So if you are a fireman, if you know anyone in the EMT world, the firefighter world, if you have friends or family, let me know, is this a hard test? Because I don't know if I should feel proud of myself or if I should just be like content with, okay, you passed, that's average. I do not think I'm super smart. If I was, I would have gotten 100. But I'm wondering, what did I accomplish today? Because I kind of just went in blind. I didn't do any research. I didn't look up this test. I actually thought I was going to do another test. I thought I was doing an FCTC, which I looked at online recently, and it said a bunch of stuff about like cogwheels, nuts, pulleys, nuts and bolts, like all kinds of like mechanical things. It was like physics questions, kind of like basic physics, and like how many cubic feet of water are in this 7-foot jug, stuff like that. You had to like do calculations. I go for this test, it was completely different. It was nothing at all I was expecting. So I would like to know if this is the hardest part of the process, because I would like to be proud of myself. I think it will be the hardest part of the process. I'm looking forward to the physical test and the EMT training because I think I can handle that. I think that, I don't want to say I'm going to blaze through it, but I'm excited to go and do that. That being said, I'm just beginning this journey of becoming a fireman. So wish me luck. I already sent my application, and you basically just have to get lucky and hope that they pick you to come in for an interview to then get in the academy to become a cadet, where you train for 6 months to become a firefighter. So if my application looks good to them and they're not like, oh gosh, this guy's 45, why bother hiring him? Then maybe I'll get lucky, get an interview, and then I can become a cadet for 6 months to train to become a official firefighter. I don't know if my age is going to hurt my odds, because I'm guessing a lot of these people are like 20 something years old going into it. But this kid at the end who was 24, who knew everything about this process, he told me that the average age for a firefighter is 39 years old. And that was very surprising. He said a lot of firefighters statistically join the force in their mid to late 30s. So that made me feel better. And then when I went to the fire station like 6 months ago to ask them questions and see if there was an age cutoff, they told me there was no age cutoff. And one of the guys there said a guy in his cadet class was 46. So I figured like, all right, he got in, maybe I can do this. But yeah, firefighter is a job I would love and I'd be happy and proud to do. So fingers crossed. I'll keep you guys updated. This is something I'd like to document as I go through it, in case there's people out there who are curious on how to go about it, because it's something I couldn't find answers for anywhere. So ask questions here. I will respond to every comment. If you know about this process, please comment so other people can find them. I will respond to them because you'll be helping me along the way. Wish me luck. Hopefully soon I'll be Fireman Nathan. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.